there. Welcome to Nicole's Creative Adventures. This is a podcast about knitting, about quilting, about sewing and spinning whenever I do those crafts, mostly knitting these days. But if it's just your first time watching, thanks for checking it out. I hope you enjoy it. My name is Nicole. I'm your host on this podcast. And my co-host is Mr. Jack, who's just laying down here getting rubbed on. He'll probably show his tail or himself later. He's my black cat. And if you're returning, thanks for coming back. I'm sorry for the delay. Just been super busy, super swamped, but I have gotten a little bit of knitting in, so I haven't been completely deprived from my crafty life. But anyways, it's been a while since my last podcast. Time flies while you're busy, and there's so much going on. We had a lot of family birthdays, and I'm working a lot. I'm still working a lot right now, and I'm just looking at my notes because I'm not going to forget anything. We do have a cal going on. It is the Free the Needles cal, which basically means if you have works in progress, then you can complete them and put them in this cal to win prizes. So basically the cal started May 15th and it's going to June 15th. So if you have a works in progress, the kind of rule was that it should have been a WIP before May 15th, and then just go ahead and finish it with before June 15th, and then you can enter it to win prizes. The Free the Needles cal hashtag was hashtag spring free the needles cal. Like I put it down here. Yeah, I need this coffee. And Jack keeps moving around underneath here, so maybe he'll stay put. There's a little lag going on my video, and I'm not too sure what that is, but hopefully it doesn't mess up this podcast. You can find the Spring the Needles cal group in Ravelry and below in the show notes link. And let's just move right ahead. I've been busy, but I'm not going to get into all the details on what's going on. I'll just get into what I've been doing knitting-wise. So unfortunately, I haven't touched my quilting. I haven't touched my spinning. I haven't done any sewing, although I had thoughts of making more progress bags for myself because I'm running out of progress bags. Or I could just finish my projects, and then that'll free some project bags. Maybe that's the next cal, is free the project bags. Okay, moving on. So finished objects. I actually have 3. Ooh, I have 4. Hold on a minute. I'm going to go. This is my coffee. I already wore these socks, so I didn't show them. So let me go grab those. Okay, I'm back. So, these socks, I casted it on at Stitches West, or literally the first. I went 2 days, and this was back in the end of February, and I cast these on after night 1. So I had purchased this yarn at Stitches West, and now that I think about it, do I have all the information? I actually finished these like a long time ago. I finished these the beginning of April, like a month ago, but I haven't podcasted since then. So, but anyways, so finished objects. I call these my Stitches 2017 socks. They are a vanilla sock with a Fish Lips Kiss heel, and the yarn is Chowgu, their KPPM yarn base, which is kind of a thick fingering to me. And the color was P435. Purple's my favorite color. And then I did a contrasting toe and heel using, I think the yarn was a mini skein Space Cadet. The color was Celeste. I'm like, I know the color. And I'm trying to see. Yeah, so this is what I have left. And actually the mini skein, I actually have enough from the mini skein, because it was kind of a large mini skein. I think it was a 20 gram mini skein that I could actually do another pair of socks. So there they are. I've already worn them. Oop. In California, it's actually kind of cool this week. And I mean cool like it's in the high 60s, low 70s. But we had a like it was super hot last week. Like it was in the 90s already. And so I was kind of getting a little depressed because I don't have any like knitwear that's meant for summer. But there were some cool nights. And so I'm still happy that I get to sometimes wear my cozy socks. But at one point, I don't know if I'm going to be able to wear any of my knitwear until the fall, you know. So those were my Stitches 2017 socks. My next finished object is over here. And oh, when did I cast this on? Well, I cast this on literally the night it came out. This is the Snow Melt Shawl. It was a mystery knit along from the Curious Handmade organization. I don't know. It's like Helen Stewart is a designer, and she has her label is kind of called Curious Handmade. So that's where her designs come out of. And I was part of her shawl society last year. It's the first time that I kind of got into her her designs and her patterns. And I knit. There were 5 shawls. No, there were 6. And I knit 3 out of the 6 just because I started 3 months late. So the first 2 shawls I never got to knit. And sorry about that. There's one shawl that I have that's on my total to-do list, and I have the yarn for it. So I plan on knitting that at one point too. But my brain's not working, so I don't know all the names. But anyways, this is the Snow Melt shawl, and this was believe this was my first mystery knit along. Period. Yeah, it is. I've joined other kind of like collections that are like you don't know what they're going to be, but you buy them in advance, like the Shawl Society. I didn't know what they're going to look like. I just knew every month a new shawl was coming out, and I'd owned the pattern. And the same thing would be for the Knitting Expat. Ooh, I'm getting lag. What is my computer doing? Okay, so I'm sorry if there was some lag there. I was picking that up on my own view, and apparently Chrome was using a gazillion amount of space, so I don't know what was taking up all the bandwidth or my processor bandwidth. But so I've closed that, and it should fix it, and if it doesn't, I'm gonna have a conniption fit. Anyways, so the Snow Melt shawl, really excited, was really excited to join it. I picked out my yarns months in advance. Where is the remainder of the yarn? Aha. So I actually have a lot of yarn left. This called for 3 skeins of fingering weight. Specifically, it said it looked fantastic in single ply fingering. And I had never knit a shawl completely out of single ply fingering. So I was really excited. I was able to use all 3 of these yarns were from my stash. So it's like, yes. So the first one was the main color, which she had said could be speckled, didn't matter. But and I have like this much left. I don't know. I weighed this, but I don't remember how much I have left. And this is Madeline Tosh in the Tosh Merino Light, Toshmo Light. The color is Rey, which is a Star Wars colorway. Rey as the new character from Episode 7. Yes, I'm a Star Wars fan. And what was I going to say about this? Oh, it's got mohair in it. That's why it's called Toshmo Light. And let's see if I have the band. Madeline Tosh. Toshmo Light. Rey. So Toshmo Light is 80% superwash merino and 20% kid mohair. So it's got a little bit of a haze to it, which is really pretty, but it's a single ply. Then, keeping in the single ply theme, I needed the darkest color, or they considered a contrast color, and I went with this awesome gold color. And this is by Cosmic Strings, which I have 3 skeins on its way from Scotland. This is from Edinburgh, Scotland, and its colorway is called Nugget. It's a single ply, 100% superwash merino, and it's a 4-ply weight. So those went really well together. And then the last one was from a sock club I was part of. I'm a huge fan of Sunrise Fiber Co. I love her yarn. I think her colors are just great. And this is her Moxie sock. I think I spilled coffee on this or something because there's a weird stain on it. Like where's the stain? Oh, up in this corner. Like what? There's a stain. The color's Prickly Pear. It's 100% superwash merino. And it was part of the July Yarn Club. And I had asked for that 3-month subscription. Hi there, I'm back. To be a surprise me base. So she could pick out of any of her bases and surprise me each month, which I had fun with because I had no clue if I was getting a fingering or if I'm getting a sport or if I'm getting, actually she has a DK base and a worsted. So I never knew exactly what I was getting, but I really enjoyed it. And this is the color. And so this is them together. And they work really, really well together. I didn't have anything with yellow and green in it. And I'm really excited about how this turned out. Now, let's talk about the pattern. It's a paid for pattern. You can find it on Ravelry. It turned out beautiful. And I really enjoyed knitting it. When I got to this middle lace section, I got a little frustrated with myself. There are some imperfections, but guess what? Nobody could tell. Then when I got to the this garter lace section, there are a few imperfections. Here, I for some reason decided to make this my TV knitting shawl. It probably wasn't the best idea because it's definitely not perfect in a couple sections. But the truth is nobody unless they know the pattern will know, right? So the other thing is that I was a little behind. I was totally fine. I got clue 1 and done in time, was waiting for week 2 to get clue 2. Clue 2, I was right on time, and then clue 3 came, and it's the lace time. I was really busy at that time. We had a lot going on. And so I kind of it took me longer to get through that clue because I just didn't have a lot of time to knit. So I started to see people getting into clue 4, and I'm totally okay with being not surprised and looking ahead. I had already committed to knit this, so I wasn't going to tear back. And then by the time I got to clue 4, I believe it was clue 4, or the end of clue 3, I can't remember the exact layout. I had already started to see people saying this is going to be a huge shawl because the last section was another lace section. And I was kind of like, I'm really loving where it's at now, and I know it's going to bloom a little bit. And I don't know if I really want it to bloom any more than what I have, kind of what's going on right now. So I ended up not doing all the clues and casting off earlier. And I love what I did. So let me show you what I got. This is the shawl. I wanted something that I can lay over my shoulders, but that wouldn't be too big. So you'll see it actually did this. It started pleating on its own because of the lace ahead of it, or at least the rows before it. So this, which is really more like eyelets section and ribbing on the bottom, I really love it. I love it. This is very like, I don't know. I just think it's really pretty. So what I wanted was something that I can just kind of drape over my shoulders, or I wanted to just kind of do this kind of thing. Figure that out. I didn't really want anything too big. Sometimes I'll wear them like this, where it kind of looks like a bib, but then I'm wearing a jacket, so then all you really see is this. So I didn't really want it to be humongo. Sorry, little mohair there. So I like how pretty it is, and I think it turned out great. And I know it's not perfect, but I really don't care that it's not perfect. I'm not a perfectionist. I'm not putting it in a show, and it's really soft, and it smells like, I think it's my lavender Eucerin wash. So that's complete. Do I recommend it? Yes. And I'm really pleased with her design. For a mystery knit along, this was stunning. Okay, so then the last finished object I have And that is the first shawl from Helen Stewart's um, shawl collection too. So I think the idea is that maybe once or twice a year she comes out with a shawl collection, which a collection of 6 shawls that come out once a month, and she gives like weeks before the new shawl comes out, she gives you clues to what kind of yarn you want to be looking for out of your stash or purchasing, so that you're ready to go when the shawl comes out, and you don't know what they're going to look like. Now you'll get the whole pattern when it's released versus a mystery knit along, which is every week a clue from the pattern gets released. So that's the difference in case you were wondering. For this one, there are 2 sizes that were available where the mystery knit along was all one size. And there was a small and medium size. And then again, this is like a true, I believe, crescent shawl. And so I was like, well, here's the thing. I'm really excited about Joji Locatelli is having a mystery wrap along. It's basically a shawl wrap. And I'm really excited about that coming out. That takes 5 skeins of fingering, so I think this sucker's going to be huge. And everybody's really excited. I love Joji's designs. I would love to have it when I meet her. I'm going to be going to Ann Bud's retreat in Alberta, Canada, in November, a ways from now. But Joji and Susan B. Anderson are both 2 of the instructors along with Ann Bud. So I'm really excited, but I would love to have my Joji wrap. And I should have finished at least one of the sweaters that I'm working on by Joji. But anyways, with that being said, I didn't want to commit myself into 2 shawls. I tend to be like a girl that likes to have one major shawl on the needles, especially one that I want to get done in a timely manner if there's a knit along, and there's lots of knit alongs going on with both this shawl that I'm about to show you and then also the Joji one that's coming up. I also have another shawl that's on works in progress I'll show later that's by Joji. That's just one of those like no-brainer. It's garter stitch mostly. It's just one of those, just because I kind of want to work on something else shawl. There's no real reason for me to have it other than the fact that I'll probably gift it. I think it would make a beautiful gift for someone who would really enjoy it and love it. Right? We like to knit for people who love our knitwear. So this shawl I knit in a week, or less than a week. This shawl came out last Thursday. Today is Thursday, but I finished it 2 days ago. Actually, I finished it. Yeah, I finished it Tuesday. Sorry. That's my day. So I'm rambling, but let me show you the shawl pretty soon. I decided to do this small because of all the other shawls that I want to get my hands on. And I'm using for this shawl, this is a skein I purchased at Stitches West this year. And it's Wally Wonka yarns. And it's her Nemu sock. I think it's Nemu sock. 50% silk, 50% superwash merino. And the color is Shotton Cottage. And I love it. It's got a beautiful sheen to it. It's very subtle. My husband's all, that's really. So I was wearing it yesterday because I blocked it before I left work yesterday. And then when I got home, it was dry because it's mostly lace. And I was just like, sweet. And it actually looked really good. I should have took a picture, but I don't like doing it's hard to do selfies. I don't have a selfie stick. I think I might need to buy one just so that I could take shots of me wearing my knitwear if no one's around. So anyways, I was wearing it when he came home, and he just said, you look nice. And I said, thanks. And I go, hey, you like the shawl I'm wearing? It's done. And he goes, I would have totally thought that you bought that. I didn't even realize you made that. I'm like, well, was that because of my skill set? Or... So anyways, here it is. Is it perfect? No! It's not. And I actually extended out the pattern. So the pattern was supposed to end here. Okay, that's not helping. See the final like large lace panel? It was supposed to stop there. But I had too much yarn left. And I didn't want to waste this yarn, and because of its make 50% silk, 50% superwash, I didn't want to waste it, and I didn't know if I'd be able to just kind of match it up because the base might be different than something else I might use. So I decided to add 4 more rounds of regular kind of just stockinette, and then I did 4 rounds of yarn over knit 2 togethers, and then I finished with a picot edge. So I kind of just went, hey, I have more yarn. I could continue in the lace patterning, but at that point I had started to get to the point where I was making a couple mistakes, and I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to keep this lace patterning is going to look the same anymore. So I just kind of took it in my own hands, and it's really long. So I'm trying to find the edges. But it's not too long. Like, I mean, it's long in length. Like, here's this one. Do, 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 do. And I'm actually just twisting. But it's really not long when it comes to, I guess you consider it width. So this one is just a really pretty shawl. I wouldn't wear it over a black sweater like this. But I wore it over a kind of a lacy-ish tank top yesterday. It looked pretty nice. And, you know, you could do that if you want, but it's so long that you could even just do the kind of wrap it around, kind of like a scarf feel. So, anyways, it's really soft, and it smells like Celebration. My Soak Celebration scent. It's really pretty. And let me see if I can get it up closely so you can see. It'll pick up. Nope, it doesn't like it. It won't pick up the sheen. So hey, I got 2 shawls done. It's awesome. So those are my finished objects. I wish I would get more work done on my sweaters. This is all I have left in the yarn. Before when I weighed it, after I was finished with the lace panel, where I was about, the next row was going to be a bind off row, I still had like 39 ounces left. And I was like, I'm not cool with that. So that's what I did. I did extra. And now I think this is only like, 5 ounces. Okay, works in progress. I have not touched my forget-me-not socks, which I think I've showed before. So I have this one sock done. I'm not going to go into details. Okay, this is really funny. So this FedEx guy, the poor guy's truck totally like blew up or whatever, and he's been driving around dropping off. It's the same guy. There he is. And he has to use a budget rental car, you know, like the trucks, budget car trucks. He hates it. And then so I've talked to him a couple times, and he's like, well, the truck's still in the shop. Well, he's like, yes. And I'm all, but then I go, well, at least you have air conditioning, because a lot of the UPS and FedEx trucks don't have that. And he goes, you're right. But anyways, he just dropped off more stuff for me. I see him a lot now because I started to sell lip scents, which if you follow Melissa, the Spicy Homemaker, she's doing the same thing. I became a distributor for the discount, and now I can't shut up about it. So I'm selling that stuff too. So I get lots of product dropped off at my house, and it's always shipped by 2-day FedEx. And so this FedEx guy and I are getting to know each other. Okay, I digress. Move on, Nicole. Next work in progress. Let's go to one of my sweaters. You guys have seen this before if you watched before or in the past. This is my Princess Fiona sweater. And I'm using, the Princess Fiona sweater is by Amy Miller. It is a knitted top down, and it's seamless. The yarn I'm using is Sunrise Fiber Co., which I had just mentioned before. I used that prickly pear green one, was by her as well. And I'm using the Frolic Sport base. And the color is Windfall. I bought 5 skeins of this. It was a special fall colorway, autumn colorway. And it was kind of a one-time colorway. She might bring it back. It's awesome. I love it. But I bought 5 skeins because I just went, I love that colorway. I'm gonna knit a sweater out of it. And I didn't know what I was gonna knit out of it, but I'm gonna have enough yarn, so I'm okay. And so here it is. This is the Princess Fiona sweater so far. I have finished the body. I finished the sleeve. So last time you saw it, I had just finished the body. It literally was like a tank top. Oh, was it? Or did I still have to finish the body? I can't remember. Okay. Note to self, can't remember. So here's one sleeve. I still have to weave in the ends. And then here's where I am for the body. Let me just stick it up. So it has a lace panel. Wait, wrong side. It has a lace panel down the side that kind of comes out in a triangle. Let's see if I can give you a look at it. It has not been blocked, obviously, so it'll look better. I'm not sure if I like, let me sit down. I'm not sure it's going to fit me great. I think even the sleeve, I intentionally decreased quicker than the pattern I called for because the arms tend to be a little bigger on me. I have a wider rib cage and chest area, and so I usually have to go up a size to accommodate for that, but then the arms are always too big. So whatever I did, and I just pray that I did good notes, I need to do on the next sweater, or the next sleeve. But I'm not sure. I'm hoping this blocks out okay. It called for a half an inch single rib on the bottom edge, and it's curling. So I'm just praying that I can block that sucker out because I don't really like that. And I guess I could rip it out and go back, but I might just be too lazy to do that. So what I have left is the last sleeve that I need to pick up stitches for. I do have to say that's my least favorite thing to do is pick up stitches. And I think that's why I'm taking so long to get these sweaters done, is because I have to pick up stitches. And I don't like knitting sleeves. But I recommend, okay, so I know this is a super taboo thing, is the 9-inch circular conversation regarding knitting socks. I love knitting on my 9-inch circulars, and I'm really fast on 9-inch circulars. I actually find that it's not hard on my hands, and it's less clanginess and less distraction for people. They don't really notice kind of what you're doing, and it doesn't, like when I'm knitting in the car. Now, granted, if you're using wood, then it's not gonna be a problem, but when you use metal needles and you're knitting in the car and the sun's on you, my husband's just like, stop with the lights, because it reacts. But I love my little 9-inch circulars. So anyways, what I did was I bought 9-inch circulars because I'll start with the 12-inch circulars for the sleeve. I'll do double pointed and pick up all my stitches if I need to. Then I get to a point where I go to my 12-inch and then I knit down to about right below the elbow. And that's usually when the decreases are a perfect place for me to either switch to double points or go to your 9-inch circulars. So I purchased 9-inch circulars. I love ChowGoo's 9-inch circulars because the shaft is just a little bit longer, which is all I needed to make my fingers feel comfortable knitting with them. And so I bought the 3-inch, the US 3 size that I needed to take the sleeve down. And then when I went to the ribbing, I had to drop it down, I think 1 or 2 needle sizes to 1.5. I think I went to 1.5. And did my single rib for the cuff, and I love it. So I will do that any day over double pointed needles. Just so much smoother for me. And you're just knitting it around. Yes, you do have to move, after a while you have to kind of untwist your sleeve or whatever because you're moving in one direction, but that's the same thing with double pointed needles. So I recommend that. That helps with sanity with knitting sleeves because I just don't care for sleeves. And then I need to cast on for the collar, and I don't quite remember what I'm supposed to do with that, but that's what a pattern is for, to tell you what to do. So yay, I'll have this for the fall. I'll probably bring it with me to France and Italy so I can wear my hand knit outfit there because I won't be wearing it in the fall in California, not until the very end of fall. So that's my sweater. It's sitting in my chicken boots bag that I have like a boatload of needles in and all kinds of stuff. This bag has really become like a utility bag for me, but it also still has my last 2 skeins, and I was alternating skeins on the sweater. I am. Okay, what else? I don't have any information on these. I didn't put this, but the socks that I'm knitting on, that I'm close to being finished. I finished 1 sock. So this is my first pair of Scrumptious Pearl socks. She is a dyer from Canada. I love Nomadic Yarns, but Nomadic Yarns is so popular that it just seems like it takes me forever to get her yarn. I don't mind waiting, but then I was looking on Instagram and I'm like, hey, everybody in Canada is talking about Scrumptious Pearl, and she's a self-striping yarn dyer too. And so she came out with some colorways that were Walking Dead inspired. Although I used to watch that show, I'm just over it. Too many zombies, too much dead stuff. But oh yeah, it was so like for the first like 2, 3, I don't even know how many seasons there are now, but at least the first 3, maybe 4 seasons, like we watched it. Like we looked forward to watching it. I just kind of got burned out. Maybe I need to go back and finish it off. But sorry. I don't know if you can hear that. That's a fake mouse that my cat's playing with. So this colorway was inspired by, it's called, what's the colorway? The Samurai, which is the really stunning African-American woman with the long braided hair, and oh, she's been in it since like, I don't know what season she's doing it, but towards the beginning, she's been in it for a while. So when I saw it, I went, oh yeah, I know who that is. But the colorways I just thought were pretty. This is the Stripe Me Up base. It's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. It's 400 yards, which is my favorite sock weight. If I can get a 380 something to 400 or 410, I don't know, not that exists, but that's my favorite kind of sock weight. It's thick enough that you really feel like you're getting a good amount of warmth, and it knits up quick, but at the same time, it's not too thick that you're like, I can't fit these in my boots or I can't fit these in my shoes. So this is the first one. This is the Samurai colorway. And I just did a vanilla sock. This is my no-brainer. I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel toe, which I'm just falling in love with. I do love a good old-fashioned heel flap and gusset. Love it. They fit fantastic. But I'm really enjoying the fact that I can keep I'm a 9-inch circular girl. This is where I'm at on the second one. I've already passed the heel. What I really enjoy is that I can knit on my 9-inch, and when I'm ready to do the heel, I can leave my non-working stitches on my 9-inch circular needle, which is nice and long at that point because you have half your stitches on it. And then I just use 3 DPNs to work the live stitches that I'm using to create this heel. Versus the heel flap and gusset, I literally have to use a full set of double point needles to do the heel flap and then the gusset, because you have to pick up stitches and all that kind of stuff. So here's number 2, here's number 1, and I haven't been really putting a lot of time into these, but I could probably get this done in a day or 2 if I devoted myself to it. And then this is what I have left. Isn't that beautiful? I love this right here. These 2 colors. Let's see if I get a good angle. This mauve or mauve, and this really like seafoamy green, but it's not seafoam. It's like a darker seafoam. They just look stunning to me. So every time I get to these colors when I do the striping, and even this gold is really pretty. Just love these. So socks, Da Bomb, Scrumptious Pearl. I ended up buying 2 or 3 skeins from her just because shipping is easier. Just do that. So I have at least one more that I'm super excited to knit on. I think they're going to be stunning. And I think my husband's going to want them, but I'm not going to probably let him have them. Just kidding. The last work in progress, well, it's not my last one, actually. Just kidding. I mentioned earlier that I was working on a Joji Locatelli shawl. And in the past, and actually thanks to I think 2 or 3 of my viewers had commented, because I had said, hey, I have these 2 skeins, and what shawl would you recommend? Because they're similar, meaning that this really pretty color can be found closely represented in that blue. And sometimes a shawl, if your 2 skeins aren't completely contrasting, it doesn't do the pattern well. And so 3 of you guys said Pure Joy by Joji Locatelli would be a good fit for that, where it wouldn't really mess with the pattern. So I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So this is the Pure Joy pattern by Joji. This is paid for pattern on Ravelry. The 2 yarns, the solid blue one that I was showing you, or actually I would call it more of a teal, is by Sweet Georgie Yarns. This was a sock club skein for me. This is her bulletproof sock. I've never used this before. It's 50% superwash merino, 20% nylon, okay? 15% kid mohair, 15% silk. So it has a nice little sheen to it, but then it has a halo. I don't know if you can tell. Come on, camera, let me cover my face. Give me a break. Never mind, it doesn't like it. So anyways, you can see the sheen a little bit. So it's really pretty. This other one was also part of a sock club, but what was the name of it? Every month you got a different brand of sock yarn. I don't remember. It was the first club that I ever belonged to. Dang it. Well, this month, what I got Destination Yarns, which this year, by the way, I got to meet the dyer, and I can't remember her name right now, but she's really lovely, at Stitches West. She had a booth. And this is the letter base. It's a fingering weight. It's 100% superwash merino, and the color is something southwest. And all of her yarns, Destination Yarns, are based off of destinations, places that people would want to visit, or areas that people would want to visit. So here's what I got so far. I'm kind of scrounged up because it's on really small circular, just because it takes up less space, but this is what I have so far. It's garter, aside from the eyelet rose, which is when you go to your contrast color, and they kind of just span out from over here, and then it ends up like this. So it's gonna be really cool one day when it's done. That's all I have to say about that. It's just a nice relax. I actually knit on this last night. Relaxing shawl, just a kind of repetitive and whatever. It doesn't take too many. There are some wrap and turns, but you kind of see them coming just because of the way the layout of the shawl is. So the last project that I've been working on is actually one that I kind of pulled out of a hibernation. This is a Joji Locatelli. Gosh, Joji, you're really getting a lot of attention on this on this podcast. This is the first Joji Locatelli pattern I ever casted on, and it is her Magnolia cardigan. It's a featherweight cardigan, and I'm using Western Sky Knits. I bought this yarn in 2016 Stitches West, so I'm really glad I'm reading on it again. This is the Magnolia sock base. Hi, Bubba. Why don't you come up over here? You're gonna lay on my shawls, huh? So Joji knit her cardigan for her. It's called the Magnolia cardigan, using Magnolia sock, using this exact yarn. And so when I saw that at Stitches West, I was like, I totally have to knit that. So it's an 80-10-10. It's an MCN. I love it. 80% superwash merino. 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And this is the color. It is called Cherry Blossom. I am alternating skeins. I believe I bought 4 skates. So last time that I showed this was a long time ago. I think I stopped working on this a year ago. So it's been a year since I've touched it. And last time you saw it, I was just below the armpits on the body. Yes, I was. So I was just about here. And since then, I've finished the rest of the cardigan regarding the body, did the ribbing. And so it's a really nice sleeveless cardigan right now. And guess what? I have to cast on the sleeves. And I don't know if I really want to, because you know how much I hate that, but I will, because it will not look good like this. So, and then there's a button band. So then not only do I have to cast on the sleeves, but I have to cast on the button band. Not looking forward to that. I'm not. So, but, oh my gosh, this yarn. I love knitting on it. It's so smooth. MCN is literally my favorite base. If I can knit on, if I got stuck with one base the rest of my life, it would be an MCN base. Like cashmere and the merino mixed together with the nylon. It's durable, but it's super soft and just glides across your needles, and then it's super soft to touch, and you're just kind of like petting it all the time. So I have some sleeves to cast on or to pick up. So at one point I will have these done, but I'm loving it. I still have 2 full skeins, which I think should be plenty for my sleeves and the button band. The button band isn't very thick. It's actually kind of like an inch wide. So I should have plenty to do that. Yes! But I'm looking forward to wearing her when she's done. And this is in a bag that I got for Stitches West. It's another Chicken Boots bag. I really like it. It's see-through, so you can see what's in it. It's got a nice zipper. It's got a nice little pouch. And then there's an inside pocket that's holding the needles that I need to use to cast on my sleeves. But that's what I got. I got finished objects done. Those were my works in progress. Next time you see me, I will probably not be done with Hohi's shawl wrap, mystery shawl wrap, but I will be on that. I think I'm done. Strike that. Okay, so I just want to thank you for watching. Hey, if you have any questions, let me know. Just so you know, for you, those of you that are quilters or miss me not talking about quilting, I have had, wow, my computer fell asleep. I am having a little bit of a reunite of quilting. I actually had a couple dreams of quilting, and yes, sir. And I actually have a desire to do a quilt, but I told myself I cannot do that quilt until I finish the one that I started. It's for my aunt and uncle, which was supposed to be a Christmas gift. I am a horrible quilt giver right now. Horrible. So I have a feeling as soon as my work time slows down, it's been literally 6 weeks of cray, but fantastic cray. It's just taking away from my time to be crafty. Once that slows down a little bit and gets back to normal, I'm going to definitely put some time into quilting. And so I'm hoping I could do more of that. And quilting is kind of a summer thing for me. I tend to prefer to do that than have something heavy and warm on me. So, and spinning, I don't know when I'm going to get back to spinning. Yeah, this would be the first summer. No, would it be? That's a lie. Don't listen to me. I was going to say this would be the first summer that I had been spinning, and that's not true. I had a spinning wheel last summer, and I think I did spin in the summer. So, I don't know. Progress. It needs to come when it comes, but I haven't lost my creativity bug. I've just been so busy. So, but I look forward to talking to you guys in the future. Send me comments and emails through a Ravelry or on my blog page or on this YouTube page. And I hope that you can join us in the Spring the Needles Cal, because all you have to do is finish objects that need to get off your needles, and you can qualify. All right. The prizes, I'm going to try to have the prizes available for the Cal for my next podcast. And the plan is it should come out before the end of the Cal, so that you guys know what's coming. All right. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.